Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben and this is my review for Top Gun Maverick. It's been coming out for ages, for a while there. If you talk to Chris from Movies and Munchies and myself, Ruben from Ruby Tuesday, we thought it was kind of a gimmick. It had been pushed back so often that when we saw the trailer we thought, that's not a real movie, it's not actually coming out, is it? And then suddenly it came out. So this is a non-spoiler review, so don't worry, you can listen to your heart's content without being worried that I'm going to spoil any. So I had the opportunity to go and watch Top Gun Maverick in an IMAX screen in a press screening about a week ago. I thought I'd wait until the day of release, well, the night before the day of release, just to kind of keep away from any sort of spoilers, any kind of, if you really want to hear whether this film is worth your while, is it going to be worth watching this, is it as good as the original, then this is the place. So I do like the original Top Gun movie, I'm a big fan of it, but I have watched it recently and I have to say it has aged somewhat. The cheese is there's some stuff that I don't believe they would put in films today. Nevertheless, it's still a fantastic original, like those classic 80s films that we seem to not quite make anymore, and that's okay because we're not in the 80s. We've changed, our culture's moved on, but you always worry when they do sequels. So many times when they do sequels or remakes of sequels or pre-sequels, it just doesn't capture the nostalgia in the right way but also do something new. So obviously, if you're a huge fan, I think going into this, you're going to be going, is this any good? But knowing how long they took on making this film, I was kind of like, okay, they've had enough time. They've had more than enough time to kind of really put the finishing pieces on. Even as it was pushed back for multiple reasons, they had some time to work on it. And I can say, with like a massive smile, I'm amazed at how good this film actually was. I was surprised by the story it had. I expected it just to be kind of nostalgia and then get an action sequence at the end. And you do have nostalgia, but it's not nostalgia for the sake of nostalgia. It's pointing at moments that happened in the original, but growing on the best things that worked in Top Gun. Tom Cruise's character has a lot to work with in this, but there's also those kind of new characters that are introduced to us that feel like they really fit well into this franchise now. You could go into this film not having seen Top Gun the original and kind of pick up what has happened and still be emotionally engaged and just enjoy it for what it is. A really great emotional action love story at its heart, at its premise. It's about finding your feet in this world, pushing the boundaries, but what is it that gives you joy in your life? And Tom Cruise's character, he's been going through like topsy-turvy of what he wants to do with the rest of his life. He knows that he is Top Gun, he knows he is a flyer, and he almost feels like a fish out of water in this one. He's old school meeting new school, and it does feel like there's this clash of kind of the old guys meeting the new guys and where do they fit in. But when they come to the storyline of, hey, pilots may no longer be of use anymore in the future, it may just be drones, then everybody feels the tenseness of this. Thankfully, there is a mission for this film to be focused on, and they spent over 800 hours of filming just in the cockpits, well, just with flying, not just in the cockpits. They had IMAX cameras, their kind of latest and greatest inside the cockpits and around. They got the actual actors inside the cockpits, so they tested them on various different planes. So when you're seeing the actors feeling like they're gonna pass out, it is actually them almost passing out. You feel what they feel and you feel every moment. I would say if you can, watch it in the bigger screen. If IMAX is around you, spend that little bit of extra, go and watch this, because the sound design along with the score are so good. They are characters of their own. I was actually blown away by how good the sound design was. It really kind of, it doesn't carry the film, but it embellishes what's going on. Those planes flying across, you feel that vibration, but then you have the score that is remixed, kind of bringing on that original emotional moments that you've had from the original, but also kind of bringing it in the forefront of the new. So it just feels like, yeah, this is something different. I do think this film is better than the original, and I know it's like, Ruben, can you even say that? Yeah, I do, because it's taken what has worked on the first one, taken those moments and then given it something fresh and new. I do think, however, this one wouldn't be better without the original, because it has that platform to kind of launch itself off of. There are emotional moments that I wasn't expecting. I was in a screening full of press people and content creators, and you could see who the press people were and who the content creators were, because they were generally a younger demographic, and those were the ones that got up at the credits and left straight away, and all the other press people sat and watched the credits roll. It's the first time I've seen press guys, especially British guys, clap and kind of cheer a number of times throughout the film, which is very weird for, even in Endgame I saw maybe that happened twice. Here it was 6 or 7 times, so it kind of gives you an idea of the emotional beats that it managed to hit, which is very impressive. I thought, yeah, they're hitting the comedy out of the park with the emotional beats. The comedy isn't taken away from the emotional moments, but rather kind of drawing you into liking the characters more. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this film. I definitely am going to go watch it again, probably a number of times. It's one that I want to own, and one that I could see myself watching the original and the sequel together as a nice little afternoon of, amazing flying, cheese lines that's there for a reason, but also just a lot of fun and escapism. I'm going to give this 5 Nicolas Cages out of 5. I couldn't have asked it for anything more. I don't want anything more from this film. It ticked all the boxes, all my need for speeds, and then more. I was just like, this is a really, really fun film. The only other film for me that has been better than this film this year is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those 2 films at the moment are my favorite. So let me know, are you going to go and watch this? Have you seen the original recently? Did it feel like it's aged somewhat? There is a moment in this that for most dudes, I think if you are of a certain age, there's a moment with a character that I think you really feel it in your gut. You're like, you might shed a couple of tears or just really have a massive smile. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long Tuesday.